This is a troll on Manifest Happiness, a podcast designed to give you easy and insightful actions you can take in your life right now to find happiness and create your dream life. Today's topic is journaling. Yes, I kind of messed up by not putting this before the last episode on being present with all of the fundamentals, but that's okay because we're here now. I hope that you're all doing well, and my heart goes out to anyone who's struggling right now. I think that journaling will really help you, whether you're doing great or having a difficult time. Before we start, I wanted to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for listening to me speak for 10 minutes a week. I have a great vision in mind to make a difference, and you're helping me do that, and you're also helping yourselves by creating your dream lives. Today we're going to go over why journaling, the many types of journals, and the most effective way to journal. Let's get into it. In English class, you might have been asked to do a creative writing exercise, where you write down whatever comes to your mind, but you have to constantly keep writing and you're not allowed to fix mistakes. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what does this have to do with journaling? The answer is that it has almost everything to do with journaling. Before I lose you, because trust me, I would have been out of this podcast so quickly if I heard that. Journaling is much more enjoyable than that. I hated that exercise. I wasn't sure why, but it just didn't feel right. I know now that it was because I didn't feel comfortable writing everything about myself at school, where there's much too many ways that other people can read it. And I was so worried that I'd have to possibly hand it in. Journaling is like this exercise because you use a stream of consciousness style to write freely about whatever you want. You don't have to make sure that the grammar is proper and go along tweaking things constantly. Journaling is a flow of thoughts, and usually I have so many things that I want to write that my pen barely leaves the page. Obviously, the exercise that I'm comparing it to is not done at home, in a spot where you're alone and can freely be with your thoughts, which is why it was so unenjoyable. Journaling is the act of putting everything down on paper, so that we don't have the burden of carrying these things with us all day, or trying to remember them. There are so many different types of journals. There's dream journals, art journals, workout journals, health journals, bullet journals. You can write about your day, feelings, emotions, and thoughts, worries, things to remember, things that you're excited about, things that you're not so excited about, what you're grateful for, what you want your future to look like, what you want to try, acts of kindness that you want to do for others, what you want to manifest, ideas, lessons that you've learned, etc. As you can see, there are unlimited things that you can do with a journal, and with all of our different interests, we'll all carry out different journals. Since there's a lot, choose one today and a different one tomorrow. I personally just start with writing about my day, and I let myself get sidetracked. And it'll take me somewhere completely different, which is great. Some of the benefits of journaling are better mindfulness, as it is one of the fundamentals, better memory and communication skills, as well as sleep, due to the ability to put down your thoughts and let go. It can also create a stronger immune system and higher IQ. All of these exercises are not only great to improve your mental health, but also your physical health, and other outside things in your life. This is a commonality with all of these exercises that we're talking about, because when you start with being happy on the inside, it propagates and ends up manifesting things in all aspects of your life. Journaling is especially handy when we're going through a hard time, or if we're trying to let go of negative emotions. It allows us to label emotions and acknowledge traumatic events. Although some things may not feel right to put on paper, I urge you to do it, because those are the things that would most benefit from being let go of and understood. Journaling also fosters creativity, because ideas that you never would have had begin to pop up. Jim Rohn says, if you're serious about becoming a wealthy, powerful, sophisticated, healthy, influential, cultured, and unique individual, keep a journal. Now let's get into how to use it so that you get the best results, and so that you don't get bored and abandon it. Many people try journaling for a few days, but then they miss a day, or they find it to be a waste of time, and they abandon it. I want to make sure that you don't do this, because I know that will make a huge difference in your life. My first way to prevent missing days is to set a time for journaling. I personally do it at night because I find that it works best with my schedule. I also tend to overthink at night, which prevents me from sleeping, which is another reason why nighttime works best for me. This seems to be the only habit that I can keep up at night. Many love writing in the morning because it starts the day with a creative boost, and you can create a sense of a to-do list so that you feel more organized and focused throughout the day. Doing it in the morning before the ego sets in, which we talked about in the last episode, also has benefits that helps to keep it away during the day. The key is that I found a time that fits best for my life, and you need to decide that too. After you finish listening, I want you to determine a time of the day that you're most likely to take the time to journal realistically. It's best to set a time because if it's just whenever, it's so much easier to put it off and believe that you have no time for it. Once you stick to it and journal for about a week, you get motivated to keep going, and then later it becomes a habit, which is amazing. I now find my nights incomplete without journaling. Sometimes life does get in the way, and we have to stay up late, or we just aren't in the mood for journaling, and that's okay. That's the beauty of it. It's there if you need it. I find that on these days, I still like to write a little something, but I keep it short, and that's perfect too. There's no minimum or maximum that you have to write. On that note, there's also no amount of time that you have to write for daily. I know that some people start off with the mindset of, oh, I have to write for 10 minutes today. I find that that kills the joy and creativity in the practice. Just let it flow, and you'll know when you're done. Don't think of it as a chore, because that is when you'll start feeling negative about journaling and get unmotivated. Think of it as something that you get to do, something that will help you, and something that's going towards your happiness and well-being. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how I journal more in depth. So I have 3 journals. One for the law of attraction, which you can learn more about in the second episode. I have a journal for gratitude, which is described in the 3rd episode. Finally, I have my basic journal that I keep at my bedside. Every night, I'll take out this book and then write the date. I like to do this because I'm able to then look back and see at what point of my life something happened. I just recently went through my old journal very briefly because I need to find some dates for a project that I'm working on. I did get a chance to get a glimpse into what was happening in my life then, and it's so crazy to see how far I've come. I can even remember the days that I wrote it, sometimes, which is amazing. Almost like a time capsule made for just yourself. That brings me to another thing. I write to my future self. I find it to be the best way to find things to write about, because you can just ask yourself, what would future me want to hear? I don't think about this constantly though, because the journal is meant for you now, and you should be writing things down that you need help with or that you're excited about. I find that a lot of the time, when I'm going through a hard time and I'm feeling down, I write what I'm feeling and I end up dissecting it and coming to the base of what is causing the emotion. From there, I can easily eliminate it. It's like you're helping yourself. This complements meditation, because with meditation, you're letting go of your thoughts, and it's the same thing with journaling. You acknowledge your thoughts and then leave them on the page. I begin by writing about my day. This is the best way to find topics, because as you guide yourself through the day, which there will always be to write about, your brain will then be like, oh wait, you did this. Oh, and this too. Ooh, I want to talk about this. All of a sudden, you're going to have so many ideas in your head, ready to go onto the paper. On my really joyful days, I tend to write little quotes to my future self, or little lessons I learned during the day that will help me in the future. The great thing is that when you're going through a hard time, or even if you're just bored, you can look back at your old journal entries and see how far you've come, and see how you're feeling on the good days to make you feel better. and you get to relive those moments. Lastly, be creative with it. Let your mind go wild. Draw if you want to. Use abbreviations and bad grammar if you want to. Because this journal is for you. And only you. So make it something that you truly love. There we go. We went over the basics of journaling. I hope that you come out of this open to trying it out or getting back into it. I want to leave you with the fact that if you do miss a day, that's completely fine. Don't force it. If you feel like you need to do it every day, then when you miss a day, I say when because it will happen. But when it does happen, don't feel discouraged and then give up. It's completely fine if you miss days. Just do whatever feels right for you. If you're ready to amplify your meditation practices, take some time after this and plan the time of day that you'll journal, and then do it. That closes our episode on journaling. Make sure to tell friends and family about this podcast so that they can manifest happiness and achieve their dream life too. Don't forget to check out the Manifest Happiness Instagram account at Manifest Happiness Podcast for inspiration and additional tips. You can also give me topic suggestions or ask any questions you may have there. Have a great day with love and gratitude.